you this question. Isn't this gun snitch thing, don't we have some actual history here in the United States of this program or something similar to it?
What? Yeah. And I've written about this numerous times because, like I say, this is not the first time that it's been suggested or it's been tried. And I guess the only rejoinder I have is if you take a look at the cities where it has been tried, it has not made an impact on the violent crime rate. These are serious issues that we're facing. They are not going to be resolved by a program designed to get a police chief headlines in the newspaper that make it look as if something's been done, but that don't really address the true issues and the root causes of why we have monstrous violence.
Yeah, I think initially the ideas here are probably, interestingly, maybe even good, but it appears as though they haven't been thought through properly. There's way too much mitigation involved here. I mean, and litigation as well. It gets very misty in here, as you say, when you're talking about anonymity and reward programs. I think initially a lot of people and a lot of very good people came together and said, well, here's an idea. And on the surface, it does sound like a good idea, but without really looking a little closer, I think some of these are probably more problematic than they started out to be.
And I think that's the way I tried to preface our conversation today. And you know as well as I do that the road to hell is often paved with the best of intentions. And another program that, might sound good on the surface, and again, in many cases is held by people with intentions that are good, are what they call gun buybacks. And this is where you can bring in a gun from your home, and they'll give you a gift coupon or, groceries or whatever in exchange for the rusty clunker that you found in the closet. And again, the problem with this is that, number one, it's not going to reduce criminal violence because the gangbangers are not going to be turning in the tools of their trade, particularly for gift coupons or whatever. The other thing is, by introducing the no questions asked element, as many of these programs do, what a perfect way to dispose of a crime weapon, because you have now been guaranteed by law enforcement that no questions are going to be asked. So if it turns out later that a ballistics trace or, a ballistics test or a serial trace or whatever involves this particular firearm with a crime, I'm pretty much immune because I have been guaranteed that, there are going to be no questions asked and that I'm free and clear on something like this.
In all fairness, though, David, I know that I have read and received reports and photographs as well as some people coming into these gun exchange or whatever you want to call them things, and they're bringing in weapons that, quite frankly, were pretty shocking in many cases, full automatics that some guy's been saving for years. And so, I mean, okay, there's some good that may have come out of it, but the risk is probably greater than the reward here. So I kind of want to still question it a little bit. I think it does need more research. But I think we have brought out some good, valid points. And folks, any of you out there who would like to support me on this, or maybe not agree with David or I on it, let me know. We'll talk about it some more. But right now, it doesn't seem as though, I don't like the gun snitch idea. I don't even like the word snitch. But the gun snitch idea, it's kind of like, is he coming to a neighborhood near me? I'm not comfortable.
There's one other real quick point I'd like to make about the buyback, if I could, James. And that is, oftentimes you're talking about people who have absolutely no idea about guns or how to handle a gun, okay? And those are the last people in the world you want to be encouraging to pick up and transport a gun to whatever the place of turn-in is. Do they know the basic rules of gun safety? Do they know how to check if the gun is loaded or not? Do they know what the legalities for transporting the gun are? And so again, this opens up a whole new door to another series of risks. And it seems to me that if I know nothing about guns and I want to turn one in, you should not be encouraging me to pick it up and transport it through society to get it to you. So I just wanted to make that point too.
No, and that's a good point. And there are probably many ways to solve this situation, and we can certainly go into that in a coming program, and I think perhaps we should. But I think we brought out some good, valid points here. Again, I encourage any of you viewers who agree or disagree either to go to David's blog, and he'll be happy to hear from you, or you can certainly contact us, and we'll discuss it in another program. David, thank you very much for coming on. See you again next week, pal.
James, always a pleasure. Thank you.